The cultural mapping technique was one activity that was introduced to me when I was studying in Australia. It was also quite accidental in Australia because I didn't really like to conduct it because it was very tedious, no, for one person to do a mapping. It was something that I was not really looking forward to because I tried to map out the Heard Island in Antarctica. Now, that was a total opposite of what I was expecting, but it was an eye-opener. The mapping technique I introduced to the center was something a little modified, primarily because I knew that, one, if I do a mapping of my community, people are not very much into the thoroughness of the activity. They're not into writing their memories. So there has to be a particular system, a template, no, so that it will systematize the gathering of data. The first attempt to do mapping was really with the government of the province of Ilocos Norte. At the time, it was Governor Bongbong Marcos who requested it. I didn't know exactly why he had that inkling that we knew how to do the cultural mapping. I said, okay, let's try it. So it was a very difficult struggle because we involved the public school teachers and they were a little apprehensive about it. It even reached to a point that they were very adamant in conducting it because, of course, they were already working on the census, they were working on the statistics, they were working on the COMELEC. So I said, let's do it in phases. And we were able to produce quite a hefty data, which eventually became the basis of the Ilocos Norte Museum. Before I knew it, I was introducing it already to the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. And they listened to it very intently and they tried to digest it. And eventually, they mentioned the technique in Republic Act 10066. That's our heritage law. And that happened in 2009. I think we have serviced vegan for over 15 years. I knew that they'd been World Heritage for the past 7 years when they approached me. And the mayor candidly stopped by me and he said, Prof, we would like to know, how do you do the mapping project? Because we couldn't really connect heritage and development. And that triggered a challenge to me. No? First, the challenge was for somebody like a champion, a local chief executive, a mayor, to accept the fact that the city doesn't understand the connection between culture, heritage, arts, history, and development. That's a lot of humility. To embark on any progressive advancement or development, I think you need a lot of humility. You know, since then, they have catapulted in leaps and bounds. That in 2012, that was our 6th year helping them, they got the Best World Heritage Award from UNESCO. They were able to beat around 50 World Heritage sites from first world countries because with a very, very few available stock of resources, they were able to transform all aspects, even poverty incidents, education, health, nutrition, tourism, name it. They had all the awards. So that was also a massive milestone learning experience for me. And we have continued our relation with vegan. Now we're doing this for another province. And it's very fulfilling, I think, for a small center like CCPET to see how much impact we're doing. We will be spending time, money, effort, manpower here. Everything will be exhausted. So with this, we just want to make sure that it will be something useful and meaningful for the people, something that they could really use in their daily lives. You normally get information and data, but what do you do with the data? The higher cost for cultural mapping is for the people to use this information, make it part of their daily contemporary lives. So last year, the cultural mapping law was passed already. So you can just imagine the little efforts, the little initiatives that we started 25 years ago has now been institutionalized into legislations and laws. I think I was very lucky that I had been given very simple people. Over the past 17 years, when we worked together, Bev started out as a contractual under our city service agency. Eventually, since I was the only one, I really had to tag her along. And as she tagged along, I realized that she could do more than those administrative functions. Along the way, I didn't realize she was also studying quietly. She got a scholarship, from the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. And out of the 7 scholars of NCCA, she was the only one who graduated. That's really something else. Consider her situation. She lives very far from the university. She has children. We had struggles, but she survived. And this is a character that I know she will be able to conquer and forge further. The difference, first of all, of advancing advocacy from the private side, like university side, and compare this to the government side, the structures are different. The audience is also very different. The structure here in the university is, relatively, it's small. The moment you enter, this is home. Our 21-hectare lot. But when you go to government, it's very different. Even though I know exactly all the 200 persons that I have, there's still that level of they'll come and go, And your servicing is not anywhere your community. Like in the university, I may be servicing outside, but you know that you have established this particular heart-to-heart relation to engage or evolve a project. As I have expressed earlier, that wherever we went to, when we were doing projects for CCPET, those values are already ingrained. This is one thing that I really appreciated in this university, because you go down to basics, and the basics are really impressed and imposed. You have to go through that day in, day out. You have to pray by 12 lunch, by 3, by 6. You have to pray. You have to stop. You have to follow certain rules. It's this kind of discipline that make you become Tomasino.